This is the comprehension test for chapters 1 through 11 of The Lightning Thief. Question number 1. Why didn't Percy defend his friend Grover when Nancy Bobofit was throwing food at him on the bus? A. He was afraid of Nancy. B. He wasn't that close with Grover. C. He was already on probation and would get in more trouble. Or D. He was waiting to fight her in the museum. Question number 2. When Mrs. Dodds turned into a monster, what magical object did Mr. Brunner give him? A. A hat that makes him invisible. B. A pair of sneakers that allow him to fly. C. A pearl that will grant him a win. D. A pen that turns into a sword. Number 3. When Percy went to see Mr. Brunner in his office, he overheard him talking to Grover about A. Percy being a disappointment for being expelled from Yancey. B. Percy being in danger of not surviving past the summer solstice. C. Mr. Brunner being a Greek monster. D. Grover leaving Yancey Academy with Percy. Number 4. Why is Grover so concerned that one of the ladies snipped the yarn? A. It means that Grover is in danger of dying. B. It means that Percy is in danger of dying. C. The scissors are a magical weapon. D. The ladies looked like Mrs. Dodds. Number 5. On page 39, Percy says, "Maybe it was stupid, but I resented him for going on that ocean voyage, for not having the guts to marry my mom." This was after he learned that his dad left before he was born. What does resented mean in this sentence? A. Was surprised by him. B. Was confused by him. C. Was angry with him. D. Was hopeful. Number 6. When Grover showed up to the cabin in the middle of the storm, Percy's mom knew that it meant A. Percy had done something wrong. B. Percy caused the storm that was happening. C. Percy was in danger. D. Percy wanted to go home. Number 7. What type of mythological creature is Grover? A. A satyr, half man and half goat. B. A minotaur, half bull and half man. C. A centaur, half horse and half man. D. Medusa, a creature with snakes for hair. Number 8. How did Percy defeat the Minotaur? A. He stabbed him with the Minotaur's own horn. B. He stabbed him with a pen that turned into a sword. C. He pushed him into a fountain of water. D. He ran away before the Minotaur could catch him and reached camp. Number 9. Why does Grover feel like a failure? A. He almost died. B. He was supposed to protect Percy, not have Percy protect him. C. He didn't teach Percy about the monsters. D. He should have stayed with Percy's mom. Number 10. What did Percy learn about Chiron at the end of chapter 5? A. He was a centaur, half man and half horse. B. He was a satyr, half man and half goat. C. He was a camp director. D. He knew who Percy's parents were. Number 11. Why were there 12 cabins for the campers at Camp Half-Blood? A. That's the number needed to fit all the campers. B. There is one cabin for each of the 12 Greek gods. C. There was only room for 12 cabins. D. They didn't need more cabins because some were already empty. Number 12. Why was Percy assigned to cabin 11? A, they had room for him. B, it was a boys' cabin. C, he was a newcomer and undetermined. D, his father was a god, Hermes. Number 13. What did Percy learn about Annabeth's parents? A, her mom was human and her dad was a professor. B, her mom is Athena and her dad is a demigod. C, her mom is Athena and her dad is undetermined. D, her mom is Athena and her dad is human. Number 14. Why is the summer solstice important? A, it is the deadline for Percy to get a quest. B, it is Percy's last day at Camp Half-Blood. C, something was stolen from the gods and must be returned by then. D, Percy's father has to give a sign by then. Number 15. What piece of evidence explains how Percy was able to beat Luke in the sword fight? A, the sword grew heavy in my hand. The balance wasn't right. B, the moment our swords connected, Luke hit my hilt and sent my weapon skidding across the floor. C, Luke poured water on his head, which looked like such a good idea. I did the same. Instantly, I felt better. Strength surged back into my arms. D, but I wonder what Percy could do with a balanced sword. Number 16. Who are the big three gods? A, Zeus, Ares, Hades. B, Zeus, Poseidon, Hades. C, Ares, Hermes, Hades. D, Artemis, Hera, Poseidon. Number 17. What object was stolen that causes Zeus and Poseidon to fight? A, the Minotaur horn. B, the Master Lightning Bolt. C, the Camaro. D, the Underworld. Number 18. What is the quest that is granted to Percy? A, find his mother and see her safely returned. B, find Pan so Grover can get his searcher's license. C, find the lightning bolt and return it to Zeus. D, get home safely. Number 19. Percy learned the real reason his mother married Gabe. What was it? A, she loved him and wanted a stepfather for Percy. B, she was lonely since Percy's father left them. C, his scent covered Percy's and protected him from monsters. D, she wanted to get revenge on Percy's father for leaving. Number 20. How did Percy defeat the two Furies who were with Mrs. Dodds? A, he made the bus crash and they were killed in the crash. B, he used Riptide to make them dissolve. C, he fought them in a sword fight and won. D, he choked them with Mrs. Dodds' whip. 21. Why was it strange that Auntie M used Annabeth's name? A, names have power. B, Annabeth hadn't told Auntie M her name. C, she usually called them just children. D, she didn't like that Annabeth called her ma'am. Number 22. What did Percy decide to do with Medusa's head? A, he saved it with the Minotaur horn. B, he sent it to Hades in the underworld. C, he mailed it to the gods of Mount Olympus. D, he took it on his quest.